Hey everyone, I'm building a 700 square feet ADU in the backyard of my rental property in San Jose, and today I'm going to give you a progress update. I'm also going to share the numbers on my rental property and the ADU at the end of the video, so make sure you don't miss out. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the channel. My name is Elisa and I'm a real estate investor and developer in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been flipping houses for 5 years and I've done over 40 projects. On this channel, I share before and after videos and home remodeling tips and tricks. Subscribe to the channel to see all the interesting content. Let me give you a little background on this rental property first. Please excuse the mess here because it's an active construction site. I purchased this rental property back in 2019 as a flip. It was a rental property for 40 years and it was super run down. The roof was leaking, there were bars on the windows, and I even inherited a squatter in the back room. We had to replace the roof, all the windows, put in new kitchen, bathrooms, and reconfigure the layout to make the laundry room and the master bedroom functional. After the renovation was all done, I decided to keep this as a rental because the cash flow was so attractive. I'm going to share with you the numbers at the very end. We ended up doing short-term rental because as a furnished rental, after you furnish the place, the monthly rent income is a lot higher than a long-term unfurnished rental. This property is also on a big lot, over 6,000 square feet, so it's perfect for an ADU. Of course, the more units you have, the higher cash flow you get. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me to decide to install a backyard ADU. When you are doing an ADU project like the one I'm doing right now, or if you work for yourself like me, it's really important to keep track of all the expenses and take advantage of as many deductions so you pay as little taxes as possible. I used to hate all the receipts I have to keep track of. They come in different sizes and they belong to various categories. So when it comes tax season, I have to sort them and put them into a spreadsheet to itemize them manually. Then I discovered this app called Simplywise. You can download it onto your phone. It organizes all of your documents in one place, perfect for recording receipts on the go. This app is so simple to use. You just take a picture of a receipt like this, and it automatically digitizes and categorizes it, so when it comes tax season, you never miss a deduction again. For $23.99 a year, you can digitize all the receipts and documents with unlimited scans and storage. For $59.99 a year, you get to do all of that and export all the itemized expenses into a spreadsheet without having to do it manually. So no more envelopes or drawers of receipts or this clutter. And you can search for what you need when you need it. At tax time, simply export a spreadsheet of your receipt data with totals by category and maximize your deductions with much less effort. Download the Simplywise app through the link in the description below, and I'm sure you're going to love it. Now let's talk about the ADU. The first step in building an ADU is to draw up the plans and get permits. It took us about 7 months to secure permits for this project. And because this backyard was already flat, so we didn't have to level the ground. We just needed to prepare for foundation. We had to dig holes and trenches. We used a bobcat to trench the perimeter foundation footing and dig a trench to the original house for power, water, and sewer lines. Once the perimeter trenches were dug, some detailed surveying was done to ensure the form locations would be built in the correct locations. String lines were put up to help locate and align the wooden forms used when pouring the concrete perimeter foundation footing. Next, they started building the exterior forms of the foundation. These were built using 2x long bar stacked on top of one another. They then manually dug larger holes inside the outer foundation footings for interior footings for floor joist support posts to be installed later. They continue to reinforce the exterior footing support form boards while adding rebar within the exterior footing. After the outsidemost form was built, they then started building the inner form. This process took a few days, and when complete, they had a preliminary inspection done before proceeding with pouring concrete. After inspection, the concrete was poured via a truck with a pump and hose. This looks relatively straightforward and low-key and is made very simple with the use of these long hoses. Here they poured concrete for both the outer perimeter footings as well as all of the interior footings. After the concrete was poured, the forms were removed and the inside and outside of the perimeter footing foundation was backfilled with dirt. Floor joist support posts and floor joist supports were installed next, and framing of the perimeter wall structures started taking shape. The floor joists were then installed and the floor of the house started to come together, give you a better idea for how large this ADU will be. For a few days here, it looked like progress was slowing, but this is where a lot of detailed work was happening with blocking and preparation for electrical and plumbing. At this point, conduit was fed into the front of the ADU with the main service wire being fed to the back of the unit where the panel will be. Drains and water lines can be seen here being installed in the various areas of the kitchen and bathrooms. Detailed plumbing work continued here, which is hard to see. At this point, they brought in the water line and connected it to the rest of the water plumbing in the existing house. Lastly, they installed insulation in the floor joist cavities before an additional inspection which will allow them to start framing of the ADU. Once the foundation is inspected and approved by the city, we're going to start with framing, plumbing, electrical, roof, insulation, drywall, exterior and interior installations. The entire construction is going to take about 6 months, but because I have many other flip projects going on at the same time, this project is not taking priority, so it may take a little longer than 6 months. Now let's talk about the numbers on this rental property. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, about 1,400 square feet. And in 2019, I purchased it for $625,000. If you are not familiar with home prices in the Bay Area, it's really hard to find anything that's below $1 million as a single-family home. And I was able to get this deal at such low price because the home was not well maintained and I acquired it off market. It was quite a steal. The renovation cost about $130,000 because this home needed everything. And right now, this home is probably worth $1.4 million or more because of the appreciation in the housing market. As an Airbnb, the monthly rent on average on this rental property is over $6,000. And if you've heard of the 1% rule on rental properties, it says if the monthly rent is more than 1% of the purchase price, then it's a very good rental property. So this property actually meets the 1% rule, which is super hard to achieve in the Bay Area. Now let's talk about the numbers on this ADU. The building cost is about $350 a square foot. So for this 700 square foot ADU, the total cost is about $250,000. And the building cost actually has gone up a lot in the last couple of years because both labor and material costs have gone up. And if we were to build this ADU back in 2020, the total cost would have been less than $200,000. Once this ADU is completed, the estimated rent income per day would be about $160. So it's about $4,800 a month. And the total investment of $250,000 can be amortized in about 4.5 years. Building a stick-built ADU takes a long time, probably over a year if you take into account the permit process. It also is a big hassle because it's going to be a mess like this and a lot of construction noise for 6 months. If you are a homeowner who's not familiar with the construction process and also not willing to take so much time to build an ADU, you can consider another option, which is to work with a manufacturer that builds prefabricated ADUs and they can just drop it to your backyard within a month or so. So you can save a lot of time and all the construction noise and any disturbance. So if you're interested in that option, you can check out this video for more details. If you're interested in seeing the before and after transformation of this short-term rental unit, drop me a comment below. I have the footage from before and it's going to take me some time to put it together, but I will do it if there's enough interest for it. I hope you enjoyed this progress update on this ADU. If you did, smash the like button below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.